Hi trader, welcome to the weekly analysis of the Forex market, this time viewing the patterns available on the majors. First of all though, be aware of this disclaimer. This video is shown to a global audience, yet may not be suitable for everyone. Please visit animalmarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence, and contact the appropriate entity for more details. Also, please be aware that trading for exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. This webinar is for informational and educational purposes only. By continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer and you are aware of the risk involved when trading. Start with the euro-dollar. This triangle, nothing has changed, and the consolidation is getting tighter. In fact, with other resistance lines appearing and other support lines as well. And price is really in the triangle of the triangle of the triangle. Now that consolidation will break eventually, of course. And that breaking point could be October, could be the Q4 of 2014. At least the smaller triangle will eventually break. The bigger triangle could be next year. So from the daily perspective, what I'm looking at is basically, you can see already price basically making a double bottom here, and also some resistance lines close by. What I would be expecting is price to respect these resistance lines here and move back to the bottom of the triangle at around 110, 110.50. This basically, I think that at this moment, price is making an impulse to the upside. Therefore, one more leg impulse to the upside is still likely. The target of that could be the 78.6 fib, the 88.6 fib, perhaps even a pause at the 61.8. But I think mainly 78.6 fib here and the 88.6 could be turning spots for that bigger downside. Back to the daily chart, what I'm expecting basically is price to retest these levels up in here, turn around, and fall down to the bottom of that triangle. That bottom of the triangle, of course, could yet again cause a bounce back to the top. Or if there's a bear flag, then the triangle might break. As it breaks the bear flag, and we can see price headed towards these targets right in here. All right, so that's basically my long-term vision here, is that price will stay within these two trend lines here first, and then eventually break to the downside. Alternative, of course, would be if it breaks the top, then there's still one more triangle to go here, and of course on the bottom there's also one more triangle here. So as you can see, a bounce here and a bounce here, staying in the tight triangle. But even if it breaks this smaller triangle here, there's still a bigger triangle available right above and below it, or not maybe right, but eventually above and below it. So from a lower time perspective, if I look at the 1 hour actually here, what I saw last week was an impulse to the upside, so I wouldn't be surprised therefore to see that move up, as I said, to 113, 113.50-ish, right? So for the moment, I think that a zigzag is the most likely, but price could first test lower fibs, like the 61.8, 78.6 fib, before finishing that zigzag up in here. So that is basically very realistic, I think. This is, at the moment, what I consider the path of least resistance. If price were to break below 111, this bottom, then I don't think that zigzag will arrive. That is my invalidation level for the bullish zigzag, and I would then expect the downtrend to continue down to 110.50, 110. I would be looking for basically the break and the pattern on the lower time frame, and then yet another break. The invalidation level for the upside is basically on the daily chart, as I already shown, this top, or the 88.6 fib. If it breaks through that level, then there could be a bigger breakout to the outer triangle here at around 114.50, 115. More updates on that euro dollar, for instance, Tuesday and also Wednesday, where we take a look at fibs and technical analysis in live trading and FX strategy. Nanette 2 discusses the euro dollar in his weekly FX recap. And Wednesday and Thursday, we have education in focus with account management and losing trades and drawdown. And Thursday, taking a look at the first steps when you start trading, but also useful for intermediate traders, maybe perhaps some things that you didn't think about and still would like to review. Let's continue with the odd USD, looking at the 4-hour chart. Last week I said look out for the hook back, because that could be a bouncing spot for a move up to retest the resistance, and it came very close. In fact, it did of course move up, but it was very close to fully hitting the trend line. Missed a bit. Could still happen this week, in fact. If price were to bounce off the 38.2 fib, I think there's a good chance that it might make that small little move here up to resistance, create divergence, and then that could be again the bounce to the downside. Now, whether that bounce to the downside will go far, I doubt it. I think that it's still quite corrective. So what could happen is that price might move down a bit, up like this, then make a correction, and ultimately stay within this triangle here, as you can see. And that would be the path of least resistance, in my opinion. Now, if it gets down all the way to here, there could be a bit of a head and shoulders there, inverted head and shoulders. That too could be a bouncing spot. That level is around 75, as you can see, plus or minus this pink line here. And of course, if price breaks support, that could be the downtrend start, or if it breaks resistance, that could be a continuation of this triangle and this correction on the daily, weekly, as you can see here, and the price could go up to test 81 as the next, or 80 and 81 as the next target. Moving on to the dollar yen still in this grand downtrend channel, and price tried to break through it 1, 2, 3 times, still failed, still not able to push above this downtrend channel, and price retesting the support. Now support is very, very sturdy too. It has 4 hits, it has a trend line, it has horizontal bottoms, it has a 100 psychological level. So before I'm trading this to the downside, I certainly need to see price really breaking through this level. There would have to be a daily candle pushing through all those levels, the daily candle close near the low. I would then like to see probably price make a retracement either back to that 100 level or close to that 100 level, and turn around and continue falling. So that's downside scenario. If price is unable to break through support, then this could still be in a breakout territory. In that case, I would need to see a daily candle above the resistance line with the candle close near the high for such a breakout trade to be interesting. So otherwise, if that does not happen, yes, this could be the bouncing spot, and this was just an ABC. That does seem the most likely scenario. In my mind, this is either a wave 1 or A, and this is a correction of a 2 or B. That's why I would expect a bullish impulse here to arrive with a 3 or C. And within 2 or B, there was basically an A, B, and a C correction. That's what I expect. So, but the confirmation happens with the daily candle breaking above it. The invalidation if there's a candle basically piercing through the bottom at 99.50. And in the meantime, if there is any kind of hook back here that signals weakness and is unable to break through support, it could be a high risk but high reward too potential, because if that is the turning spot and it does break later on, it could mean a decent potential reward right there. So that could be a risky, but perhaps one way of kind of scaling in a potential or starting a potential there for upside. Last but not least, the pound USD made a lower low, continued. I was talking about basically last week here, the 38.50 fib range. That was indeed true, spot on. Price turned, like the euro dollar, by the way. Also talked about those fibs being the turning spot for price. It turned, made 5 waves down, fell a few hundred pips, so that was great potential. The euro dollar did the same, by the way. Forgot to mention that, but last week was turning. Looking at the fibs here, that too was a turning spot for a lower low at the 61.8. So those worked out fine. Now this week we'll do the same. I'm not sure actually. At the moment I have this fib on. I think at this point it's at a bouncing spot. Pound USD, it is at a trend line. It is at 88.6 fib. From the daily chart, you can see, if we zoom in all the way to the out to the daily chart, you can see it could be a contracting triangle. Price needs to break through this bottom before the triangle is invalidated and the downtrend continuation might happen. Until that moment, this could be a triangle, this could be an A, this could be a B, this could be a C, this could be a D, and price might go up for E, which of course E cannot break above C. So at this point, price is at the 88.6 fib. That could be the wave D. Now, how do I know which one is which? Basically stays in this downtrend channel. It is a good chance it could just continue like this and break and continue with the downtrend. However, if price, and that would mean basically that price should respect the 38.2 fib at 130.50. If price breaks above 38 fib and the trend line, the trend channel, and the 50 fib, well then in that case, I think that there's a bigger correction going on and wave D has been completed and wave E is probably in progress. In that case, there's going to be a bigger correction and price is probably going to go like this, make a hook back and move up towards the top, towards 133, 132.50. If So that's the bullish scenario upon the break. So we have to see how price responds here in this channel. At this moment, I think that this down leg is finished. It has reached the 88.6 fib. It has reached the support trend line. There are candles here indicating that the bearish momentum is over. So for the moment, I think that there is a bullish retracement going on. The main question is, how is it going to retrace? Is it going to be impulsive, or is it going to be kind of corrective and struggling to hit the 38? In that case, I will be selling. If it's more impulsive and starts to fly up like this and make a bull flag, then probably a breakout higher seems more likely. Thanks for joining this video. Wish you all great trading and hope to see you in the webinars. Check out admiralmarkets.com for all analytics, education, software like MT4 Supreme Edition with 60 plus extra features for your trading. And wish you all again great trading. Cheers.